There is a mother in Kyoto. She is sitting on a wooden bench at the edge of a playground, and her 3-year-old daughter has just fallen. Not badly, but enough. The little girl looks up, dirt on her knees, eyes wide, searching her mother's face for permission to cry. The mother does not rush over. She does not gasp. She meets her daughter's eyes, nods slowly, and smiles, just barely. The little girl looks down at her knees, looks back at her mother, and then stands up and keeps running. No one intervened, nothing was fixed, and that child just became a little bit braver. Stay with me, because what that mother just did has a name and has been studied by researchers at Kyoto University, and it may be the single most powerful thing you can do for your child's emotional future, and most Western parents are doing the exact opposite without realizing it. The Japanese call it Mimamoru, written with 2 characters, one meaning to watch and one meaning to protect. Together, they do not mean what you think. Mimamoru does not mean watching to keep safe, it means watching as protection. The act of calm, present observation, without interference, is itself the shield. The parent's stillness teaches the child that the world is manageable, that discomfort is not an emergency, that they are capable. There is a second concept woven into this philosophy, kotowari. Written with characters meaning to be caught and feeling, it describes a deep, personal commitment to doing something with full care and intention. Japanese parents do not parent casually. Every moment of restraint, every deliberate pause before stepping in, that is kotowari in action. Parenting as a craft, parenting with purpose. Now, here is where it gets interesting, and if you have a child in your life, I want you to keep watching, because this next part changes how you see every small moment. Researchers at Kyoto University, publishing in the journal Child Development, studied how parental facial expressions during a child's moment of stress directly shaped the child's stress response. What they found was striking. When a parent showed anxiety, alarm, or urgency on their face during a minor fall or frustration, the child's cortisol, the stress hormone, spiked significantly higher and took longer to return to baseline. But when the parent held a calm, neutral, or gently reassuring expression, the child's stress response was dramatically shorter. The child recovered faster, not because the pain was less, but because the parent's face said, "This is survivable." Your face is your child's first weather forecast. Every morning, every stumble, every tantrum, they are reading you before they read the situation. And most of us do not know we are broadcasting a storm. Here is what Western parenting culture has quietly normalized, and this is not about blame, it is about awareness. We have been taught that a good parent responds quickly, loudly, visibly. When a child falls, we sprint. When a child cries, we fix. When a child struggles with a puzzle, we reach over and help within seconds. Parenting forums praise the parent who is always there, always present, always solving. And it feels like love. It looks like love. But a landmark study from Stanford University, published in the journal Developmental Psychology, found that children who were consistently rescued from low-level frustration showed lower persistence, lower frustration tolerance, and higher anxiety by age 7 compared to children who were allowed to sit inside difficulty for slightly longer before help arrived. We are solving the problem and accidentally creating a bigger one. We are teaching children, with every fast rescue, that discomfort requires an adult to make it stop. And when that adult is not there, the child has no map. If you are still watching, you already care more than most parents do. Tap the like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more parents who need to hear this. Now, let me give you something you can actually use tonight. Here is your first practice, the 3-second pause. The next time your child falls, trips, spills something, or hits a wall with a puzzle, before you move, before you speak, count silently to 3. Just 3 seconds. Use those seconds to soften your face, relax your jaw, let your eyes go warm and steady. In those 3 seconds, you are doing 2 things. You are giving your child the space to self-assess, and you are sending a signal with your body that says, "I see you, and I am not afraid for you." You will be surprised how often they do not need you to move at all. Here is your second practice. Replace the rescue with the question. When your child is stuck, not hurt, just frustrated, instead of stepping in and solving, kneel down to their level and say, "What do you think you could try?" That's it. 4 words that activate a completely different part of the brain. You are not abandoning them. You are treating them like someone who is capable of thinking. Over time, that question becomes a voice inside their head. Research from the University of Chicago, published in Psychological Science, found that children who were regularly prompted with open-ended questions during difficulty showed measurably higher creative problem-solving ability and emotional resilience than children who received direct solutions. You are not just helping them with the puzzle, you are building the architecture of how they handle hard things for the rest of their lives. And here is your third practice. This one is for you, not them. It is called the reset breath, and it takes 4 seconds. Before you enter a room where your child is struggling, upset, or melting down, pause at the doorway. Inhale for 4 counts. Exhale for 4 counts. That single act lowers your own cortisol enough to change the expression on your face before you walk in. You cannot give your child calm if you are not carrying it. You are the environment before you say a single word. Japanese parents do not perform patience, they prepare for it. They treat their own nervous system as part of the parenting toolkit, because it is. There is something quietly radical about Mimamoru in a world that rewards visible effort. It asks you to trust your child with difficulty. It asks you to believe that your stillness is not neglect, it is a gift. That a child who learns to stand up on their own, who looks at their own needs and decides they're okay, who figures out 3 possible solutions before asking for help, that child carries something into adulthood that no helicopter can deliver. The Kyoto playground mother was not being passive. She was doing the hardest thing a parent can do. She was staying still on purpose. She was choosing trust over fear, and her daughter ran. If this video shifted something in the way you see parenting, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want more on how the world's wisest cultures quietly build resilient, emotionally strong children, subscribe. There's a lot more coming. See you in the next one.